दो है, एक ही डालना है मैंने इसमें। है someone can carry that again.
Where are you joining from, Prakash Gotetti ji? I have sent you your customized link. You're not joining from there. One second. I'll promote you, no problem. But one second. Okay. First of all, I would like to welcome all of you to this day two of the online FTP. And thank you all for joining in today. Um, Veni Gandhala and Naresh ji, can you just message me what you need? Recording will be available after a week. We will make it available on our YouTube channel. Prakash Gutetti ji, are you here? If you can raise your hand, I will unmute you. No, 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 no. I didn't share the link as participant. I shared the link as let me try to uh, one second. Let me try. I'm just trying. Just give me 1 minute. How do I make you? 1 second. Please just give me a minute. Yes.
Yeah, now I got a message that got promoted as panelist.
No, 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 no. I have sent you a link also that you are a panelist. You should have got
No, no,
that link.
earlier I did not had problem. Only yesterday, today, somehow the link is not working.
Okay, okay. I'll just take a couple of minutes.
No
Uh,
problem.
yes, yes. So actually, our platform Future Skills Prime is down today. The platform is down. So I just yes, yes. You can write the
One
assessment.
thing I want to ask, this agentic AI fluency is a card also I see. That is also there for them or?
No, I have just given them because it's a good course. So I thought if they want to do it, they can do it. That card is there, but their course is the DAV STEM. So just for everyone's knowledge, the course that
Okay, okay.
that you are supposed to do is DAV STEM, and there is a assessment for that. And today the platform is down, so the team is working to uh, what should I say, to up the platform because the platform is down. They are working to restore the platform. So please bear with us, participants. If you can just write in chat if you know you like, if you can you got that the platform is down today. If you understood that, just type yes, or just type y yes in the chat, so we know that you have understood this. Yes, so please bear with us. The platform is down today. I'll message in the group once it's up, and then you can go ahead for the course or for the assessment. So thank you, Ramya
So
ji.
when they have to give the assessment, basically.
Assessment they have to give by Friday. In
Okay.
fact, I give them time till Sunday to take the assessment. Some are very proactive, some have already taken the assessment, even though the course has just started. So
Okay.
So yeah. So in fact, I think we should just wait for a couple of minutes. I will explain, Ramya ji. Right now, platform is down. But basically, maybe there's too much traffic on the platform. Yes, there's once the platform is working. What I did today was that I gave all the names to upload on the platform. So all the IDs are created, but platform itself is down. So yeah, you can write the test. You cannot write the test now because platform is down. You will be having time till Sunday to write the test. So please bear with us. I want that at least 100 people should join, then you should start the lecture. At least where people are just joining in. Today I have logged in from my phone because tomorrow there is an event where I have to be in the evening. So tomorrow again I will have to dial from Zoom. So I'm just checking if it is working. The Zoom link. Tomorrow you can write the assessment, but all of you need to score 70%. That's why I suggest that you first listen to all the lectures so that you are able to score 70% in the assessment. You can take only once. If you score even 69, you will not get Atal certificate. They are very strict. Atal is very strict. AICT is very strict. And they have told us to be strict also, that make sure that only 70% and above get the certificate. So yeah, feedback link I've shared in WhatsApp group. You can take it from there, Vinigandla ji. Take it from there. And attendance, you need to have 80% attendance for Atal. So that's required. I think we are now almost 90 people. Let's just wait one more minute. And then if you want to start, please go ahead. You're on mute.
No, I'm saying it's okay.
Yeah.
Some 5 minutes spillover is fine.
Yes. Yeah. Afshan Bhatt ji, I know that earlier you used to give assessment on Atal. This time we are we are giving the assessment on Future Skills Prime. It's a government initiative with NASCOM, where we have courses on all emerging technologies and soft skills, and we have given it to students also because we have the courses which are by industry folks. So we have the latest courses which industry with the skills which industry needs. So the courses are also from Red Hat, Accenture, Cisco, uh, Google, Microsoft. So we've provided it to students all over India. And if you want to take these courses to your students, please let me know. We'll be happy to do it. Yeah, it is mandatory to do the course to take the assessment. So please do that. So we have 100 plus people. Samuel Solomonji, good evening. I think I'll hand it over to Dr. Prakash Koteti, who is a senior consultant. Is my
Yeah.
voice echoing?
No, it's okay.
Okay, somebody messaged that my voice is echoing. So I'm just introducing Dr. Prakash Koteti. He's a senior consultant with TechM, and he has also worked extensively in academia. So he understands how to deliver the lectures so that maximum is absorbed by the people. Yeah. Whoever my voice is echoing, maybe you have two systems on. That's why it's echoing. You need to be on one system. Only then you'll be able to hear without echo. It's only echoing for you. Maybe you have it on the phone also and the laptop also. So just figure that out. Attendance is marked automatically on Zoom. If you join, attendance will be taken. Feedback I've shared in WhatsApp group. you can do that. Otherwise, you can record your video feedback and send it to me also. So with that, I'll hand it over to you, Dr. Prakash, for your session.
Yeah, thanks, Kamal. Good evening, everyone. Let me share my screen. I'm just sharing my screen. Yeah, hope my screen is visible, right? You can just confirm on the chat. Yes, thank you. Very good evening, everyone. So today we'll continue our discussion from the AI fundamentals to specific domain problems. Like, for example, we'll be focusing on computer vision, and then we'll be focusing on most recent uh, popular area, that is prompt engineering, right? So these are the three things that we'll be covering today. So if you recall, we discussed about overall ecosystem of various use cases, how this AI discipline can help us solve these problems. Under one umbrella of AI, below that we have machine learning and then deep learning and things like that, right? So if you just focus on this session, it will be better because I will get distracted with your messages. So what what is important here is that in the case of machine learning problems, we talked about two types of models, right? One is discriminative model, other one is generative model, right? To give an example of a discriminative model, you can think of support vector machines as a discriminative model, and then logistic regression is a discriminative model. Good example for generative model is naive-based classifier, right? Which is based on the probability classification, right? Classifying based on the probability. So I don't want to get into all the family of algorithms, but I wanted to give a basic understanding of what is AI and machine learning, what kind of algorithms we have. As a next step of machine learning, we will get introduced with another set of techniques called deep learning techniques. So why do we need deep learning, right? That is fundamental question that everybody has. First of all, what is deep learning? Why it is called deep, right? So in problems that you deal with, a decision boundary of feature space. So there are certain techniques which are very powerful in constructing non-linear decision boundary, right? Something like, logistic regression. But support vector machine is another technique where you feature transform into new feature space using what we call kernel trick, right? So let us begin this session with the discussion on nonlinearity. Before that, let me show you the agenda of what we have today. Then probably we can get into that. So today we have only three items that we will be discussing. Number one, understanding the concept of nonlinearity. Then how the neural network architectures introduce this nonlinearity, right? And how nonlinearity is so powerful. That's the first thing. Now, Then we extend this concept to more complex networks called convolutional neural networks, which primarily deal with image processing, right? And subsequently, we'll see computer vision, right? There are a couple of use cases you can think of in computer vision, such as image classification, image segmentation, object detection, right? But these are becoming very popular nowadays because of healthcare and medical diagnostic applications, right? So, which are expensive in terms of diagnostic standpoint. You can potentially look at how you can leverage these AI techniques to solve such problems, right? Towards the end of this session, we'll be discussing about prompt engineering, why prompt engineering is becoming prominent nowadays, right? So, prompt engineering enables you to get into AI discipline without much prior experience, right? That's why testers, quality analysts, people from ops, operations, towards improving the productivity of what they do in day-to-day life, they they can learn this skill and apply it using various prompting techniques so that they can leverage large language models like GitHub Copilot, Gemini, transformer models like GPT, etc. Right? So these are the three items that we'll have in the agenda. Before I get into this session, do you have any questions based on our session, our last session in this series? Okay, no questions. Let me move on. So fundamentally, let us look at a neural network, right? So before neural network, I wanted to understand the concept of nonlinearity, right? Let me share my whiteboard. You are able to see my blackboard, right? Hello? Ah, good. So we look at right concept of nonlinearity. Let me take some data points, right? So something like I have two features, x1 and x2, right? Now I have data points representing positive examples and negative examples. Let me denote this way. These are, okay, these are my positive examples. Similarly, I use a different color, maybe this one. Assume that these are some negative examples, right? So what I can do is I can construct a decision boundary, something like this. this is my decision boundary, right? So all the data, and now this equation of the straight line, right? Something like equal to 0. Now data points on the left hand side represent one class, class C1, and other side they represent class C2. Now in this case my feature space is very easy, so this is my discriminative model, right? Now let me modify this problem slightly like this. Now suppose I have positive examples and negative examples are distributed something like this. And negative examples, let us say, use some other color like this, right? Now in this case, my decision boundary is not just straight line, right? Maybe something like this, right? Correct? So in this case, what happens? I am having more complex model. So why complex model? Because the equation of this model is little complex, right? And we have a thumb rule saying that as model complexity increases, it tries to remember. That means you get into overfitting, right? What is overfitting and underfitting? Suppose if model performance is poor on the training data itself, then it is a kind of underfitting, right? But suppose model is performing well on the training data, but not able to do well on test data, then it is, overfitting, right? So now we have techniques which will help you to transform these features into nonlinear feature space and still get the linear boundary. Let me take an example, right? Like for example, feature transformations, right? When you are talking about feature transformation, you have something like, let me take one-dimensional data points. This is 0, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is minus 1, minus 2, minus 4, minus 5. Assume that some of them are positive examples, some of them are negative examples, right? So let us say this is negative, this is negative, this is negative. No, these points are positive, let us say. On either side. Now, can you construct a model with linear decision boundary? No, right? Because if you think of drawing a line here, then saying that this side is negative example, this side is positive examples, or this side is positive example, this side negative examples, then a whole bunch of points here, which are still green, they will be misclassified. On the other hand, suppose if you draw a line like this, then and say that this side examples are positive, this side examples are negative, then this will be misclassified, right? So to deal with problem, you will use the idea of feature transformation, right? How this transformation works, let me explain to you. Now suppose if I transform, what is my data set here? I have only one feature, x, and I have y. X is equal to -5, it is plus. X is equal to -4, it is plus. X is equal to -3, it is negative. -2, negative. -1, negative. 0, negative. 1, negative. And then 2, negative. Then points 3, 4, 5 are positive. Correct? So this is my data set with which I started with. Suppose I apply transformation where my x prime is equal to x square. So I apply a transformation phi of z is equal to z square, right? So if I take this, each data point, I will a kind of squaring it, right? Now let me plot these points again. 0, right? Now let me represent this point because each point is becoming square of it, right? So when I say square of it, first I have -5, that is 25. Somewhere here. This is my positive point, right? -5 whole square. This is positive. -4 whole square is somewhere here positive. And then -3 whole square. These are all negative. What are the other positive points we have? -5, -4, 3, 4, 5, right? So plus 3 whole square will get something like this. Plus 4 is somewhere here. 5 will be somewhere here. Now these are all negative points, remaining places. This is a negative point. Like this. So This negative point will become somewhere here. 9, 4, 0, 1. This is 4. Because I am squaring, right? Now, in this new feature space, these are my data points, right? Now, interestingly, you can draw a line like this, which can separate all positive examples are one side, all negative examples are one side, right? This is the technique that we use in support vector machines. We call them as SVM, right? So, how this feature transformation is done? It is in support vector machine, we have something called kernel trick, right? What is kernel trick? It turns out that instead of transforming each feature space, you write something as a function of dot product of two vectors. So everything is a dot product of two vectors. That is your feature transformation. You can denote this as phi, right? That is called kernel trick. You don't have to transform individually each data point. Instead, the transformation can be expressed as dot product of two vectors as a function of dot product of two vectors. This is your kernel trick. Now, next thing is sometimes you might be having vast volume of data. Then these simple models may not be able to utilize this data to find out hidden patterns in that, right? So you need much better models. So, or rather you say that you need models which are more complex in nature, right? So to learn complex features. So complex models help extracting the refined features, right? What are refined features? Suppose I have a some person, right? Right? Now, in this case, more complex features can be something like color of eyes, right? And any moles anywhere, right? So this sometimes it becomes difficult using simple models, right? Simple models may not extract able to extract refined features. So now, how do you think of more complex models, right? So that's where you have the motivation of neural networks, right? So that's where you have the concept of neural networks, where a network comprises of set of nodes like this with set of layers. Now you have edge from each node to each other node. Like this. So assume that you are giving some input features. Assume that 3 features I have. Now again, this node is connected with this node is connected with this node is connected with this node, like this. Every node of the predecessor layer is connected with every node of other layer, right? So is the case with this. Right? Something like this. Now, when you look at this node, right? Any node that you take, this you call it as a neuron. Now we will look into the concept of neuron, how this is conceptualized, right? And how do we model more complex architectures using these artificial neural networks? Okay, let me just share my screen. You're able to see the presentation? Yeah. So this is conceptualized from the way human brain functions, right? So it has become prominent since 90s, right? So there are various components of your biological neuron in the brain. You have set of input signals, and then you have something called cell body, and then you have outputs, right? So this is the fundamental concept behind artificial neural network. You want to model something similar to this as a computational model, right? Where you have inputs getting into this neuron, right? Like this. And this is some cell body, what we are talking here. And the computations that you do here is the feature that is x1, you multiply with weight associated with that edge, right? That's why you have w1 x1, w2 x2, because there are two features. Two arrows are coming from two different nodes. Here, you additionally you introduce one more thing called w0. This is your bias term. That means when, also called synapse, right? When both the inputs are zero, it should not be zero, right? Now, this cell, if you look at, it comprises of two parts, right? The first part here, to draw a line, is nothing but, suppose I am getting inputs from x1, x2, x3. To specify the importance of each input, you put weights here, W3 here, W2 here, W1 here. This becomes algebraic sum, which means omega 1 x1 plus omega 2 x2, omega 3 x3 plus this bias term called omega naught. You assume that there is another input 1 here, right? This is called summation term here. On the other side, what you do, you apply some nonlinear function called g of z, where z is equal to omega 0 that will become output here. Is this clear? So the nonlinearity that you are saying in the decision surface, this is your nonlinear function. What this function is called activation function. Right? Have you understood this? Any question so far? Very good. So now with this understanding, we just see how you can develop this architecture, right? Now we are talking about multi-layered neural networks which aim at learning more complex patterns in the data. If you look at key components, you have input layer, you can have many hidden layers, and then one output layer, right? So basically the neurons are performing the weight computation, and each weight that you attach to these features of predecessor layer, right? They actually represent the strength of that feature in overall algebraic sum that you are computing at every activation node. Why it is called activation node? Because when you have a full-fledged network, you can use some switching mechanism. Using that switching mechanism, you can activate some of the nodes, then you can drop some of the nodes, right? And these nonlinear functions that you use, they are called activation functions, right? We will discuss all that in detail. Now, deep refers to the number of hidden layers that you have in the network. Now, there are few important and interesting example applications. One is automatic feature extraction. Now, traditional machine learning relies on a lot of feature transformations and feature engineering techniques, whereas deep neural networks learn features directly from raw data. Now, it can handle multimodal data like high dimensional data, which means images. Suppose if you have a small image, right? If you take 64 by 64, then you have so many pixels, right? So you can think of that entire thing becomes a feature vector, right? Similarly, audio file, text file, etc. One important thing about text data is text data assumes sequence modeling, right? When I say sequence modeling, the relative positions of the words, what we call them tokens, is very important. For example, you might take an example of the rat chases the cat, right? And you can change it also. The cat chases the rat. So altogether the meaning changes, right? Because if you alter the relative positions of these words. So how do you take into account these relative positions? How do you take them into account? Using sequence modeling. Okay. All right. Let us take some example. We know these gates, right, in electrical circuits. First, you take OR gate. What is the formula for, what is the truth table for OR gate? If x is 0, y is, x1 is 0, x2 is 0, you will get 0. If x1 0, x2 is 1, you will get 1. Similarly, 1 0, right? And when 1, of course, 1 plus 1 is 2, which is nothing but 1 0. You are actually taking the carry here, right? So this is the truth table. Now assume that you use some g of z as a nonlinear function given by e to the power of 1 by 1 plus e to the power of minus z, right? This function also will introduce nonlinearity. Suppose if you plot this function, right, as a function of z, when z is equal to 0, 1 by 1 plus e power minus 0, 1 by 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 by 2 is 0.5, right? So now as z increases, this becomes infinity. The whole thing approaches to 1. In similar lines, if you apply, it becomes 0 on the negative side of x. Right? This is also called S curve. Now let us look at this. Now what is the weighted sum? Assume that these are the weights. This is my weight vector. My x vector is given by x transpose is given by right. So what you are doing here is omega transpose x, right? So when you put both of them 0, x1 0, x2 0, g of minus 10. This is my g of z. G of minus 10 means it is 0, right? Almost. So this is 0. Under 0, 1 condition, what is happening? Let me take this 0, 1. It is minus, sorry. This is minus 10 plus 20 x1 plus 0. So g of 10, it is positive side. 10 is equal to z is equal to 10. Since z is equal to 10, we have g of z is close to 1. Right? So is the case with this. Now if you put both of them 1, 40 minus 10, 30, again it is positive. Right? This is easy. Now so is the case with AND gate. Suppose if you want to model AND gate, right? Whichever gate you are preparing, these weights only matters. Hmm. So is it clear? Okay. Now again nonlinear decision boundary. That means I will skip this example considering the time factor. When you introduce new layer, this will help you creating nonlinear decision boundary. So a network without hidden layer is called perceptron model. But this is the network example where you cannot draw linear decision boundary, right? So non-linearity is more here, which means you are introducing a layer. As you introduce more and more layers, you are increasing the non-linearity, right? This is another example, right? Just a minute. Huh? Yeah. So assume that you want to do a classifier with some four classes: pedestrian, four-wheeler, and motorbike, some truck, right? Now what you can do is you have four classes, so the output layer has four nodes, right? So what each node will deliver is the probability distribution. That means it will have something like, this is my class 1. Each node will give you this vector. Suppose my probabilities are this is 0.6 class 1, zero point 0.2 class 2, zero point 0.2 class 2, or zero point 0.1 class 2, zero point 0.1. Then the maximum probability is 0.6. So it gives you class 1. Similarly, if you take this node, right? Suppose I have C1, something like this. Now this is C3, like that, right? So this is the concept of deep neural networks. And one important thing that we need to understand is the concept of activation functions, right? Let me explain that. activation functions. You're able to see my board, right? Okay. So predominantly there are three activation functions. One is sigmoid activation function, denoted by sigma of z is equal to you can plot this, right? This is my sigma of z. Right? The other one is tan hyperbolic function, this will be e power minus z, or let me do like z minus e power minus z, z plus e power minus z. So now let us plot this. As z increases, e power minus z becomes 0. This becomes e power z by e power z. So it is like it will approach 1 here in asymptotic limit. As z tends to minus infinity, this term will vanish, it will become minus 1. At z is equal to 0, e power 0 is 1, 1 minus 1 by 1 plus 1, it is 0. So typically you will have like this. Right? So normally this will be used to scale your data between minus 1 and 1. Right? There is one more thing. These functions, sigmoid and tan hyperbolic functions, they suffer from problems such as vanishing gradient problem or exploding gradient problem. Right? How these problems occurs? These problems occurs in back propagation. So in the network, you have two things, right? We have, right? One is forward propagation. So during forward propagation, what happens is it will use values x1, x2, x3. It will use weights, whatever they are assigned. It will compute y value, right? Output will be computed. Output will be computed. Now in the backward propagation, let us understand back propagation. We just take only one node, okay? I just take x1. It is fed to this node. From here, you have output, right? Assume that this is y predicted. Now let us some weight here. Now you got some output. So let us suppose this is some weight A1. Now in the forward propagation, what will happen? W1 into X1 plus, of course, you have a bias term, right? You apply sigmoid on that. These functions, right? These were Y. Right? So now you compute the error. Error is equal to actual value minus predicted value whole square divided by number of examples. For the mathematical simplicity, people will put 1 by 2 here, because when you put 1 by 2 here, that 2 will cancel with the partial derivative, right? In other words, you will say that this is my error term, right? Now you take some partial derivative. Now this error is function of what? It's function of only this. Right? You compute dou E by dou W1, dou A by dou A, dou B1, etc. That means you are trying to adjust the weights here. So how the weights are getting adjusted? Through chain rule. Chain rule of partial derivatives. Some question is there here. Option what is asking in activation function 3, which one is third? Third one I have not yet come. Third one we are going to do. Now third one is ReLU function, rectilinear unit. How it look like? Z is equal to max of 0 comma Z. So if you plot this is your Z. On the negative side it is 0. Positive side is Y is equal to X. But this function is, not differentiable at Z is equal to 0. But there is a whole bunch of theory, but I don't want to get into that. But that's how it is. There is something called leaky ReLU. Instead of putting exact 0, you say that some alpha and Z. So in leaky ReLU, the curve might look like this. This is your Z. These are the activation function, right? So predominantly for all hidden layers, you will be using, including your input layer, you will be using ReLU activation function. But for output layer, depending upon the binary class or multi-class problem, either you use sigmoid or softmax. What is softmax? This will be used for multi-class classification, right? So how it look like? It look like something like this, e power minus z I, right? Suppose you have three classes, minus z1 by like this, right? Sigmoid function is used for binary classification, right? Is it clear? Janranjan Acharya. Okay, now let me go back to the slide. All right. So we are talking about convolution, right? So let me explain what are the convolutional network. This is all. So this is convolutional neural network, right? This CNN. Now convolutional neural network will be used to increase or to pay attention to the local receptive fields. What is local receptive field? You take small local patterns and you take and extract that to larger structures. So let us understand first, it is useful for computer vision tasks. This we'll see little later. So you look at this. Suppose you want to classify this as a cat. You are working on a classification problem. You want to classify whether it is a cat or dog. You have the image. You take that image, you apply convolution. And after that, you do what we call pooling. Again, convolution, again pooling. So convolution and pooling will be applied as a series, right? At the end, you flatten that, you have a layer to flatten these outputs before you actually get the probabilities. Now let us understand this, how the concept of this, right? Suppose you have birds, right? You can actually classify the birds based on certain specific features. In this case, the beak that you are thinking here, right? Now, this is a higher order feature, right? I wanted to have a beak detector using this. So what you do is you take the pixels and you have this local receptive field. Your local receptive field is beak here in this case. So essentially this receptive field is called kernel, right? How does this uh, convolution works? It is like this. You know that the input image can be broken into pixels. This is my pixel feature map. This is now this star is convolution operator. So you choose some kernel, right? So what you do is that when you choose this kernel, you superimpose on that and do this element-wise multiplication. For example, when I am superimposing, I have 0, 1, 3, 4. This is my receptive field. I am applying convolution with 0, 1, 2, 3. So it is basically element by element multiplication. 0 into 0 corresponding positions plus 1 into 1 plus 3 into 2 plus 4 into 3. Right? What is the value of this? 19. That's why you got 19 here. Next time what you do, your receptive field, you move the receptive field onto this particular feature map. So then you again compute convolution, right? 1, 2, 4, 5. You are doing this with, again, your kernel is not changed. Please understand, you are just moving your torchlight. It's like a torchlight, right? You are measuring that feature using this convolution operator. So this becomes 1 into 0 plus 2 into 1 plus 4 into 2 plus 5 into 3. So you will get 25. Similarly, you can do like this. Now the matrix size will be, suppose your initial feature map is of size something like n by n. The finally, after applying convolution with k by k matrix, you will get n minus k plus 1 cross n minus k plus 1. Sometimes what happens, like the example of bird beak, in the image feature map, the edge features you may not be able to detect, right? Because you overlap, this is one kernel, this is next kernel, this is next kernel, next convolution, next convolution. You, you come below, you keep applying convolutions. But the points within this middle region are exposed multiple times. But whereas the the points which are on the edges, the data pixels which are on the edges, they got opportunity only for one time exposure. In order to increase that, you pad them with additional rows and columns with zeros. Then you will have some kind of overlap, right? That is called padding. But when you do this convolution, you realize that not necessarily all these all these values of this resulting feature map are dominant. So you say what is the most dominant feature? That's why you will use maximum pooling. That means you take maximum out of these values. If you apply maximum pooling, you will get a single value instead of 4 values, that is 43. So this is about convolution, right? Have you understood convolution operation, how it will be done? Any questions here? Now we will be applying this in a natural language processing. We'll applying this to more complex things. Why? Because for language processing, the relative positions of the words is important, right? Let me show you one thing. For language processing, relative positions are important. How do you take relative positions into account? Using other advanced networks like LSTM, long term long short term memory, right? And similarly, you have transformer models. What is a transformer model? Let me show you. That is also a network model. Let me share. Give me a minute. Let me share a link with you. So this is transformer models are very, very important, right? So what are transformer model? they work based on the attention mechanism, right? In 2017, there is a paper which is published called Attention is What You Need. These are called attention models, right? What is attention? Attention is your model's ability to capture most prominent words in a sequence of words. So these are the applications of transformer models, right? Now, that there are certain traditional models like recurrent neural network, etc., but they will be suffering from vanishing gradient problem. What is vanishing gradient problem? Vanishing gradient problem means that in the back propagation, you are doing partial derivatives, right? These partial derivatives will make your entire product is smaller and smaller, particularly when you have very deep network, right? As a result of which, the gradients get vanished. So the algorithm will not be able to learn further in terms of weights, right? So a transformer model typically look like this. You have set of inputs you are giving, you convert that input into input to embedding vector. Now you perform positional encoding here, right? Then you have the concept called multi-heads, right? Multi-heads means you can actually use this combination in different permutations, right? So what it does, it takes the output tokens from the previous steps. Again, it will go through an attention model. Then you perform some normalization, you perform feed forward to the next layer. You have encoder layer and decoder layer, right? So this is how typically it works, right? So there is an interesting thing that you do in self-attention mechanism. You compute what we called QKV, right? You have a query, keyword, and value, right? So when you have some free time, please read about this. These are the transformer models which are very, very important. Now they become prominent. If you take Chat GPT, right? What is GPT? Generative transformative model, right? Generative pre-trained transformer model, right? So a typical transformer will work like this. It has encoding and decoding mechanism. So let us now we are getting into the last topic, that is prompt engineering. So prompt engineering is a design technique of how do you give prompts to the large language models like ChatGPT or Gemini. There are certain techniques one should practice. That means when you give a prompt, specificity, clarity are two important things to get more relevant response. And a prompt that you give should be able to provide a context to guide the model. What models does, they extract the information from various sources, right? It can be the document that you share, it can be web resources, it can be some web pages or other documents in the internet, right? Whole bunch of things. Now you run these prompts in a very, very structured way so that the model learns automatically and it constructs the knowledge based on what kind of prompts that you're giving. There are techniques like few shot prompting, role prompting, chain of thought prompting. Role prompting is also called persona based prompting. As I said, clarity and specificity is very important. You detailed prompt will reduce ambiguity because when you want to specify a prompt clearly, you should always use persona. What is persona? This is what it is. Explain photosynthesis in simple term for a 10-year-old. That means you are talking about a role. Suppose if you say explain deep learning for a developer. Explain deep learning for a high school teacher. Suppose if you ask like that, by looking at the persona, it will be able to give information in a simplified way. So that's why persona is very important. Now, second thing is prompt context, like providing background information. In this example, you can see you are a marketing expert, create a tagline for new eco-friendly water bottle, right? So you are giving the context here. Now you need to give the structure and constraints. Summarize the article within 3-column table, right? Then you run multiple iterations on that. There are, as I said, there are techniques like few shot prompting, chain of thought prompting, etc. Let us look at these techniques. So this is a comprehensive slide explaining you the differences between them. So one shot prompting means you give one example. Few shot means you will give 2 to 10 examples. Like for example, you can take I love cats. You convert that into some French language. So I love cats. This is equivalent to French sentence. He eats bread. This is equivalent to French sentence. That's how you give some examples. Like for example, you can say New Delhi is capital of India. Similarly, you want to say that what is the capital of you know Bangladesh, right? That means you are giving some examples. The next thing comes chain of thought. Chain of thought is especially useful when you are solving mathematical problems, right? Where you need to synthesize your prior knowledge. You need to synthesize your prior knowledge, right? In a systematic way. So how model learns? Models predominantly learn from the patterns. They derive patterns from the prompts that you are giving, right? What are the use cases? Quick formatting, then creating small insights from the data set, text classification. Prompt engineering is so popular now because it improves a lot of productivity by leveraging these large language models, right? For example, you prepare a course plan using a large language model, right? You can specify that, okay, I want to prepare a course outline considering specifically uh, uh, third level of Bloom's cognitive level, right? Like what is third level? Basically critical thinking, right? Or you can say that synthesis and evaluation, right? Fourth level is creation, right? That means they need to develop something. Like that, you can actually, use the GPTs very well. We should not afraid of using these GPTs. It will be challenging, but you should use it as a tool for learning, right? How one can promote active learning using GPT. That is one of the interesting thing that you can look forward, right? Because this is disrupting entire ecosystem, uh, our lifestyle, including our lifestyle, right? So adapting to this is very, very important. Suppose if somebody wants to succeed in prompt engineering, somebody wants to become prompt engineer, what are the key capabilities, key competencies or key capabilities one should have? They should be familiar with large language models. They should have a strong communication skills. They should be able to explain technical concepts, coding, etc. Right? Now, one of the side effects is hallucination. Right? That means sometimes models generate fabricated information based on the sources from where they are getting in, because you don't have control on that, right? So you need to evaluate it, right? There are evaluation methods, but that is beyond the scope of this, right? So when a prompt you are getting, you ask for citations or references from where it is getting this information. This is some example, right? Let us say zero shot prompting. This is just a prompt that I generated on uh, Gemini, right? Explain how Apache Kafka is used in real-time data streaming for a beginner in computer science. So I am talking about a persona, right? So GPT output will be, chat GPT output is this. Sorry, it is chat GPT, not Gemini. So it gives very nicely publisher subscriber model, consumers, and all that. Few short prompting, explain neural networks to a 10-year-old. Neural networks are like a brain made of math that learns patterns from examples. Now, same question, if you ask college student, they are computational models inspired by human brain, made of layers of nodes, etc. So this is some example. Now, chain of thought style, if you take, how does self-attention mechanism in GPT model differs from publisher subscriber, right? Kafka's publisher subscriber moves real world data between producers and consumers, whereas generative pre-trained transformer models focus on attention. They get the relationships within the data sequence, right? One transmits the data stream. For example, you take Kafka, it is perspective is to stream processing. Other will interpret the token dependencies among the words, right? So I wanted to show one more thing. Give me a minute. Just a minute. Huh? So let us discuss some sample questions, right? Let me share my screen. So typically, your quiz exam or is of this particular level, right? Standard. So in prompt engineering, the persona pattern is primarily used for what? Now I want you to type your options here. Yes, very good, fantastic. Now, what about this one? What is the option? B. Now let me go to the next question. Why persona patterns are helpful? No, it is C. They guide models, tone, expertise, and perspective. Right? Let me put one more thing. Look at this. A teacher designing prompts for an educational chatbot wants the Alto act as a patient tutor. What does it mean? Is it chain of thought you are applying or persona you are applying? It is persona because you are saying that patient tutor, right? Uh, what is the major cause of bias? Bias means, you know, what is the major cause of bias? Like, for example, human bias, gender bias, things like that. What is fairness in AI? No. It is about provide equitable treatment across different groups of people. Now let us look at here. Next question. What is the option here? approves more loans for men than women. It is called gender bias, right? So these things are not important. Why fairness is important in AI systems? Because AI benefits should be distributed equally among society. So that's all I have for you as part of this session. So thank you so much for your time. Hope the session is informative. You can type in the chat box.
Yes, please share with us your comments and feedback. Informative.
Sorry?
Somebody. Yeah, someone is saying informative.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Yeah. So
I
I
have a
think,
question. Anjali has a question.
yeah, please.
Please, you can ask your question. Awesome session. It'll be great if you can, record your feedback and share with us on WhatsApp. Share it with me on WhatsApp. You're muted. You can type your question, Anjali ji.
You can type question here.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
First of all, very good evening, sir. Prakash, sir,
Very
it
good
was a
evening.
wonderful session. And
Thank you
thank
so
you so
much.
much, Kamna ma'am, for giving me an opportunity to go with, for the feedback as well as to ask a question. So I have a question from Prakash, sir, from this transformer architecture. You
Yeah,
explained that self-attention and multi-head attention. First of
yeah,
all, I
yeah.
want to know the major difference between these two.
No,
And
no.
second,
Self-attention is a concept,
okay.
right? But what you want to improve it further, like in the deep learning, what you do, that's why I arranged this in a very, very chronological order, right? First, we talked about artificial neural network, then we applied convolution, right? So that
Hmm.
means if you want to extract more and more hidden patterns, but in the
Hmm.
text, how do you extract hidden patterns? By looking at the permutation of the words, right? That means
Hmm.
the relative positioning of the words makes the meaning entirely different, right?
So you want to say the attention is related to the context
Yeah,
of what we are
exactly,
giving.
exactly, exactly. There are many models
Correct.
are there, but because of lack of time, I could not focus on that in detail.
And how is it useful in circuit analysis? Is it all the circuit analysis?
No, circuit analysis means?
Like if I talk about the mathematical solution of a problem, so we have emergent reasoning over there, wherein
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
LLM used
So,
to
so,
solve the
so, so what,
problems.
what, what happens there is, so these are called meta models actually. You can't just apply, you know, the basic models that we are talking about. They are trained on billions and billions of parameters actually. It is not a primitive model.
Okay.
So what happens over there is there may be a nested architectures of such things. So when you have some free time, you look at GPT architectures. They are very, very complex. Even LSTM model, if you take, that itself is very complex, right?
Actually, I'm studying on LLM models, so that's why I'm quite getting more deeper into this
So
architecture.
when you are
We
studying
are
LLM models,
almost on time. I'm afraid we have to call it. We have to take a pause now. But you can reach out to
I will
us
just
with
add
your
one
question.
point. I just add one point. There is a
Sure.
classic test called natural language processing and transformers, right? When you get
Okay.
some time, please read the textbook. It's a text.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
sir.
so
Thank
much.
you.
And just one good news is there. The platform is up.
Okay.
So the
Good.
platform is up, and I'll just take a minute to share with you what you need to do. I'm sharing my screen before I welcome our next trainer. What you need to do is you need to go on Future Skills Prime. So this is the website. All of your email IDs have been created. So just type uh, yes in the chat box you can if you are
I
able
can
to see
log off,
this.
right? If you permit me, madam.
Yes, please. Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
please.
Thank you. So you will go here. If you can see this login, you just type yes if you can see this login. In this login, your registered email ID on Atal. That is your login ID also and password also. So just type yes if you can understand that. Your email ID on Atal is your login ID and password both, and then you can use the forget password route to access the course. So I'm already logged in. I have my password. I'll just log in. Now when you come here, then here you go to groups. Okay. On groups, you can just type this AICTE in the chat. Okay, when you search for this, and so I have 3 groups, but you will have one group, which is this group. So just type this yes if you can see this group, AICT Atal Online DAV STEM participants. Yes, so basically you go here, you scroll down. This is the course that you need to do, Digital Application Fundamentals. And here is the assessment. This is the assessment, it's free. Divyanjali, if it's showing invalid ID, you just have to log in with your registered email ID on Atal. That has been created. If you use your other ID, any other Zoom ID, that will not work. So basically, this is the assessment. It's free of cost. So you need to take this. Once you take this, some of you have already taken it, but we will wait till we are giving time till till Sunday, for you to finish your this assessment. So by 11th February, your marks will be uploaded. Kiran Babu, what is it that you are not able to see? If you can message. Roshan Bose, what is the issue? If you can put in the chat. No. This is not a daily assessment. It's only once. These marks will go on Atal. Sugandhi ji. You don't see any group. Basically, you have to either do a reload over here. So this button is the refresh button, or you search for AICT. Then you will be able to see. Yeah. You just need to enroll. Yes, you need to complete this. Yeah. If you're facing an issue, then you can write to support. Yes. Yes, correct. First complete the course and then attend the quiz. Attendance is taken on Zoom, and I'm just going to put the support email ID. If you are not able to see your group, you can just write an email with a screenshot. Yeah. So I'm just going to put that. Yeah. I'll just put that in the chat. You can use that, and with that, I'll just hand it over to the trainer who is with us, Ms. Shikha Tyagi. Welcome to this session. I'm just going to take 1 more minute to put in the chat in case if they have any issue. But you can introduce yourself and start.
Yeah, thank you, Kamna. So, hi everyone. I'm Shikha. I'm founder of AI Jamic, AI consultancy. I have total 12 years of experience in artificial intelligence and machine learning domain. I have worked with companies like American Express, Paytm, and Yahoo. And today I'll take your session on how to use AI tools for online learning. So let's start in a bit. Let me know, Kamna, when I can.
Yeah, just 1 minute. I'm just putting skillsprime.in, futureskillsprime.in, and copy Kamna at nascom.in. Right. Yeah. There's only one final assessment. Attendance is on Zoom. There is no separate link for attendance. And in case you are still not able to see your groups, though we have made it, you can take a screenshot and email to support@futureskillsprime.in and copy Kamna at nascom.in. And now I'll just request you to give all your attention to the lecture so that you can make the best use of this time. Please ask your questions, engage, so that you can also score 70%. Thank you so much. Over to you, Shikha.
Okay. Thank you, Kamna. So let me share my screen. So I hope my screen is visible to everyone. Please use chat, drop in yes. I'll be asking some questions also. So I would request all of you to use this chat box and provide your responses. So let's keep it interactive. Ask any questions that you will have. This is on whatever I'm covering. So let me put it on full screen. Yeah. So as I talked about, the session that I will be covering is how to use AI tools for online learning. So I'll cover some specific tools which you can use for upskilling yourself, learning new skills, doing research, or let's say if you want to even, let's say, work on your soft skill like presentation skills, communication skills. So these are the different tools I will take you through. And talking about the agenda, so these are the three things we will be covering today. So first, I will take you through how to build a smart study system using AI tools. So let's say you want to learn something, so how you can use AI as a learning and thinking partner. The second segment will be how you can apply the smart study system for teaching and learning. So let's say you want to deliver content or some session to your students. So how you can leverage these AI tools for designing content, creating assessments, and interactions for students using AI tools. Then I'll end with the responsible and ethical use of AI in education. So very important when you're working in an education sector. So what are some do's and don'ts is what I will cover here. Before I begin, I have this quick question for all of you. So are you aware with this Bloom's 2 sigma problem? So drop it in chat, yes, no. So I got one yes, some, and others are no. So let me quickly take you through what is this Bloom's 2 sigma problem. So this study was done by Benjamin Bloom. If you go to Wikipedia or do a Google search, this is the study you will get. And here is what I have highlighted here. So let me zoom in a bit. So Bloom's 2 sigma problem actually refers to an educational phenomena that the average students are tutored 101 using mastery learning techniques performed 2 standard deviation better than student educated in a classroom setup. Now, what does this one-on-one means? It means a personalized education of a particular topic which is given to students. It has proven to improve their performance. So this holds true for all of us because no two persons are at same page. Some people understand one topic like quickly but struggles in another topic. Now, in this age of AI tools, it has become really easy to create these personalized teaching material or personalized learning material. So this is the focus we will have now, like how to create these smart study system using AI tools for our personalized upskilling and personalized learning. So first, let's see how we are going to design the smart study system design using AI. This will be a 4-step process, and look at the objective here. The objective of creating this smart study system is to learn new skill and also teach students effectively. It will have these 4 phases. First is learning phase, where I'll talk about what are very popular AI tools which you can use as your thought partner for upskilling. Second will be how to use AI tools for designing content and delivering the content to your students. So here the focus will be on delivery of the content to your students. Third will be assessment phase. So whatever learnings you have done in first phase, or let's say whatever classes you have taken in second phase for your students, how to assess the learning. So this is what we will see here, how we can create items, do auto grading using the AI tool. Then I'll finish with the analytics phase. So whatever results of assessment that you get, how to analyze those to create the next set of actions. So here I'll talk about how to use AI for LMS discussion summary. So whatever learning management system you are using. So let's say students are discussing about a topic there. So how you can analyze and summarize it and identify the pain point which they are facing. So these are the 4-step process. We will focus now on creating the smart study system for us. So let's start with the learning phase. So in the learning phase, as I said, we will use AI as our one-on-one personalized coach. Think of as AI as a partner in thinking. It's like whatever issue you have, whatever topics you want to learn, you can take help of these different AI tools, which I'll take you through. The coverage of these tools will be in 3 categories. First, I'll take you through tools which can help you in gaining or mastering coding skills, understanding or improving your technical skills. So there I will first cover Google Colab and GitHub Copilot. After that, I'll focus on some research specific tools. Let's say you have a particular area of research that you are working on. So what are the tools available for that? And the third category will be how you can work on your soft skills. So for example, working on your communication skill, like you have an upcoming presentation there and you want to have some, let's say, coach or guide to help you with that. So that will be the third category where I will talk about these some popular communication coach type tools. So first, I'll start with Google Colab. So a quick question, how many of you have used Google Colab? So drop in chat if you have used, yes. If you have not used, you can type in no also. So I get a mix of responses. Some have used it, some have not used. So Google Colab, as you can see, is by Google. And it's a very popular one in data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence community. So if you want to, let's say, upskill yourself in Python, data analysis, data science, building machine learning models, so you can take help of Google Colab. 3 to 4 years back, it was just a place where you will have to write code yourself. But what Google has done, they have integrated Gemini now inside that. So when you go to this URL, collab.research.google.com, this is the kind of page you will land into. And what you need to do, just click on create a new notebook. So this is the kind of platform you can use for mastering Python. So Python is very popular language used for building machine learning, artificial intelligence model. And when I click a new notebook, this is the kind of interface I get. And you can see on the left-hand side, you have the coding panel. On the right-hand side, you have Gemini integrated. So you don't now have to write code from the start. You can take help of Gemini and it can give you end-to-end working codes to create machine learning models for any use case that you have. Here you can see it has given suggestions like how I can install Python libraries, show an example of training a ML model. So let's say you are someone who's just starting in the field of machine learning, artificial intelligence. So you can maybe click on this third option, like show an example of training a simple ML model. And Gemini will take this query and will start working behind the scene. And it will start writing code also automatically. So here you see on the left hand side, all the code has been written by Gemini. I have not written a single piece of code. So this is how you can train a simple ML model. So you can see it has given commentary also, like first let's generate some data for the example. Then let's train a simple linear regression model. Now let's say you have a question like what is a linear regression model? So you can ask all of these questions to Gemini. So in the same this screen that you are seeing, you can ask questions on any confusion that you have on a specific piece of code. You want to build end-to-end ML pipeline. So all of that you can do here. So you can write, explain what is linear regression. So apart from this, let's say if you want to work on any end-to-end model, let's say you are aware with the basics, you want to go deeper into this, so you can ask it to develop even more complex models for more advanced use cases. Here you can see it has explained what is a linear regression model, what's the goal of it. Is the goal is to fit the best possible straight line using which you can predict your outcome variables. So linear regression is very popular for prediction of your numerical values, for example, weather forecasting. So those are some of the use cases where it is used. So you can take help of this Google Colab to actually start learning, or if you already are somewhere who is not a beginner, who's you can take help of Colab to create even complex models and ask it to explain it to you. So this is a very popular tool that you can try for specific to, I would say, machine learning domain. The next tool that I'll take you through now is GitHub Copilot. So how many of you have used GitHub Copilot? So anyone, yes, no, please feel free to drop in your chats. So GitHub Copilot is again a tool which is integrated, where you can take help of writing codes. Google Colab, how it is different from that? Google Colab is very specific for Python based tools that you want to create. But with GitHub Copilot, you can write code for any sort of application in any language of your choice. So here you can ask, or you can upload your codes also. So let's say you have some coding repositories. You want to understand what is there in it. So you can attach, here you see the option. So you can attach the code repositories and ask questions on that, like what it is, what's the use of it. So all of that you can do here. Here, if you see the drop down, in GitHub Copilot, they have integrated multiple large language models. So it has Claude, Haiku, GPT 4.1, GPT 5 mini. So you can pick the ones which you like more. So like Claude is really good for coding type of tasks. So you can play around with that also. So you have this flexibility of choosing a model here and then doing your coding task. With Google Colab, there is only Gemini because that's the model which is developed by Google. But that's not the case with GitHub Copilot. You get to you actually have access to multiple models here. Yeah. So I see there is a question. So for analytical model, so let's say you're building a basic predictive analytics model. So there also you can see in Python, I want to build a predictive analytics model. Can you tell me step-by-step process to do that? So you can write a prompt like this in Google Colab. For statistical data set, which one is best, ML or DL? So DL is actually, you can think, so ML and DL, they both are your predictive sort of task solvers. Deep learning is your neural network. Machine learning is a more broader field. So they are not, I would say, they are actually part of each other. So you can think deep learning as a subset of machine learning. So deep learning is a specialized case where it just uses neural network. So you can, basis on the problem that you have, you can try building models using both the techniques and see what results you get. In ML, you get broad variety of algorithms. In deep learning, you will be specifically constrained to using neural network. But apart from neural network, also there are a lot of techniques available out there, which are part of the subset, which is called your machine learning. So take again help of Gemini, and let's say that I have agriculture field data, and you can paste some data also and ask it to provide you information on which ML algorithm you should use. Should you use a specific neural network or any other one? So yeah, for deep learning ML type of task, use Google Colab. It's a very, very popular tool. It can build end-to-end analytical solutions for you through this tool. So these were the two main coding-based tools I wanted to cover. So first was Google Colab, and second is GitHub Copilot. So GitHub Copilot, as I said, is a versatile one. You can build applications, user interfaces. So if you are thinking something of a generic solution, you can use GitHub Copilot. Otherwise, for machine learning, try to use Google Colab. Now, the next set of tools which I'll take you through is Elicit and Science Navigator. These are research-focused tasks, and I will show you now how you can use to, let's say, work on a specific domain that you are interested in, read about what are the latest research is happening in that particular area. So let me take you through first Elicit. So let's go. Yeah. So this is your elicit.com. So when you type this here, this is the interface you will get. And all the tools that I'm using, I have picked them so that either they are totally free or they provide you some credits on a monthly basis, which you can use for free. So Elicit also has some capabilities which you can use for free. So for example, here you see on the screen this tool section. Some are grade, which I cannot use because that is part of Pro, but it provide a lot of free capabilities also, like find papers, paper chat, research report creation. So these three are available to you as part of their free tier. So I'll be using them and show you how you can use for your day-to-day research task. So first option, which I'll take you through, is find papers. So let's say you want to find papers on a specific topic. Let's say you want to understand what latest is happening in large language models or LLM. Or let's say you want to understand the effect of AI in education. So let's say you want to do this, effect of AI in education. So I've written this topic. And if you see, Elicit automatically comes up with three options that, do you want to convert this topic into more specific? So when I select specificity, it says that should we convert this topic into what is the impact of AI powered personalized learning platforms on student academic performance? Do you want to research about the outcome measurement? So how does the implementation of AI assisted tutoring system affect student? The third is population focus. So in this way, it gives you three options in which you, or in a way, you can tweak your original query and get more precise responses. So let's say I pick this one specifically and I want to actually understand the impact. So I rephrase this using that option and then I hit here enter. So I see a question, Anjali, ma'am, is it? Yes, Anjali, it is free. It provides you 3 to 4 options for free usage.
Yes, ma'am. I'm checking right now here. So it has pro, standard, and some kind of charging he's taking. But yeah, I signed up free right now. So I'm working back to back with you. Looking forward my papers. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. Yeah, so you can see the question that I had, it was this: what is the impact of AI powered personalized learning platform? And it has looked at the paper database that it has, the research papers, and you can see it has given me most similar ones to my original query. Here you see the impact of AI powered personalized learning. This is the research paper. It has also given a summary also. So here you see, I don't have to go through the entire paper. I can quickly get it summarized here. So this is the summary. And it also gives you information that from which particular area it has taken. So from the entire paper, from where it has taken those snippets. So if you want to read the entire paper, it has provided links also. So you can read the links also. So this is how you can do research on any topic that you're interested in. So if you scroll down, it has done that same for all the top 10 sources. So here you see it has the source, the summary, and the content here changes as I click on any of the papers. So as you scroll down, these are 10. You have options to load more also. So if you want to go through more papers, you can do that also. So this was the first tool. Second is paper chat. So here actually you can upload some papers and do a Q&A on that. I'm pretty sure you might have done something similar with ChatGPT also. So this is on the same lines where you can upload a paper, ask it to summarize it or come up with the key highlight points. So this is something very similar to your normal AI tools like Gemini or ChatGPT. The third one is research report generation. So this is under your popular workflow. So here what you can do, you can ask a research question to generate a structured research report automatically. And here you can see it has provided some topics. So it says that these are some suggested topics, but you can write your own topic also. For example, let's say you want to generate any research on what's happening in the semiconductor industry, or let's say what's happening in the large language model space. So you can write all those also and generate a research report. But let's say I pick this first one, what mechanics beyond canonical pathways are indicated by GPL1R, or let's say ask this one actually, magnesium's effect on sleep. Let's say you want to research on this particular topic. So you put this here and let's say you hit enter. So it will actually do a research from the database it has and will try to generate a report. So let's wait while it is doing that.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yeah.
Like you clicked on that paper to find out the sources. paper sources, right? So I also click the same, but when I get the paper, so can I download the complete paper? Only the abstract I can see.
Yeah, it only gives you the abstracts and the link. You will have the link. So through that link, you can go to the page where the paper is. Yeah.
But as far as I can see the DOIS, I can see, but I cannot find the complete paper. Like if I want to see what exactly has been written in that paper source, so uh,
So
is it not
there's a
available
third,
in?
there's I think third frame also, which gives you that. Maybe you can try on that. I think towards the end of the session, maybe I can take you through that again.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is the workflow example that, let's say, whatever research topic that you have in mind, you want to generate a report for that using whatever different papers are available. So here, if you see on the right hand side, so it gives you a step-by-step process of how it has generated reports. So first, what it did is it gathered 499 sources. If you want to see the details, you can click here, and then it gives you what were all those different papers which it has referred to. So you can see this is the paper is there, and here you see the sources also here. So it will open that in a new tab. So you can see it has taken it from semantic scholar. So this seems like some issue right now, but with every paper it gives source. If that source is working, you should be able to see that particular entire paper with you. So you see it has scanned 499 different papers where something similar, whatever your research specific or focus was mentioned, and from that it has filtered down to some very specific papers, and from it has extracted the information. So you see, initially there were 499 sources. From that, it did some screening and kept only 14 sources. And from there, it extracted 98 data points, and then it used those 98 data points to construct this research report. So you can see it has all the things which are usually there in a research report, like abstract, method, what the results were there for the study conducted. If you scroll down, the different effects, so it has all the necessary information which should be there in a research report. So this is how you can use Elicit for generating research papers, and you have the sources also from where it has taken the information. One more tool, I'll just give a quick overview of that, Science Navigator. So Science Navigator is also there. So let me just quickly take you through this. So this is called now Bohrium. So they have renamed it. So it is also a research-based tool. So try experiment with both of these and see which one is meeting your expectations or which one you are able to get better answer. So try to use both of these. So the idea is same, that how you can do researching and reporting through the database which is there, and use or take help of AI to generate the insights from it. So this is the second tool which you can try. Yeah, so there's some questions like, will they come across hallucination? So hallucination, I think, will be minimal, because all the data that they're producing is coming from a database. So the chances of getting hallucinations are minimal, but I will say that it can never be 100. I cannot say that 100% is correct. There are always some minute chance of some error being there. So, but I can say the chances of that will be very, very less. So the third segment of tool I'll quickly take you through is Udly. So Udly is very popular, but one caveat of it is that it's not entirely free. So I don't know how many of you use Udly. So Udly is very popular for working on your presentation skills. It actually analyzes your facial expressions, the way you are talking, the kind of words you are using. So it takes into as an input all of that. It runs AI models on it, and then it gives you some recommendations for improvement. The one issue is that with it is that only 5 interactions are free with Udly. After that, it becomes paid. So, but let's say if you have not used it, sign in and you get 5 interactions which you can try with this. So I have already did that, so I've exhausted my quota, but feel free to explore this and see how it works for you. So, but very good. So what it will do, it will record your presentation. You will be talking on any specific topic. After that, it will do the analysis and will give you some recommendations. What are your strength and weakness? So it will do that sort of analysis for you. So let's go back to the slides. So some of these next slides is just how you can use these tools, which I have already showed you in the hands-on. So these are just some ways how you can use Google Colab, how you can write good prompts to get good outcomes, good codes. Then this is on how you can do or how you can use GitHub Copilot as your AI pair programmer. So some information on that. So this is all what we already did using using the hands-on we just did. Now with this, we have finished our first section, which was our learning phase. So how you can use AI as your thought partner. I'm pretty sure you must already be using ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude for some of the learning. But I wanted to take you through some specialized tool which have done mastery in that. So Google Colab is a master, you can think of as a master in AI ML related domain. Then you have Elicit, which is really good in research based workflows. So these are specialized tools that I have taken you through. But yeah, again, your Claude type tools or Gemini or ChatGPT, they are always there. So continue using them along with the new tools that I've taken you through. Now in the smart study system design, we'll go to the second phase, which is the content design and delivery phase, where I'll talk about how to use AI tools for delivering sessions effectively to your students. So for this, first we should have a goal in mind, the objective that we are trying to achieve. And here you can see the goal that we have. The goal is that, let's say you have to create a complete 1-week module that you want to create immediately for your course. So let's say you have a course that you are delivering in a particular semester, and for upcoming week you want to create a structure of what you are going to be working on. So this is the goal you have in mind, and as part of this delivery, what all you want to do, you want to first have 3 measurable outcomes. Here again, I have referenced Bloom's Apply and Analyze. So Bloom is again Benjamin Bloom. He did a lot of study in the education sector. So this is where we will map the measurable outcomes to. So it will be mapped to Bloom's Apply and Analyze phases. Then you want to have a 90-minute live session plan also, and you want AI help in creating the segments, what should be the segment you should be covering and what the timing should be. Then 2 async activities you want in the module. OER readings, videos, these should be verified open links, very important when you are working on any academic course or a plan. Then you want to have a graded assessment also, because you want to understand how much students were able to learn. So these are the activities you want to be part of that 1 week module. And the tools that I will be using for this is, first is Perplexity, which will be used for sourcing open educational resources. And second is ChatGPT, which we will use for developing this entire template of the course that we are interested in. Now, if you are not familiar with Bloom Supply Analyze, what it is, so I've given this reference slide, what is Bloom's taxonomy, what all categories are there inside it. So you can refer to these after the session. So here you can see it has Bloom's taxonomy, have these 6 tags: remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. So basically whatever you are teaching or learning should be able to be mapped to any of these tags. So whatever learnings you had, are you able to apply it to real world problems or not? So these are the kind of tags you can think, come up with every segment, let's say you want to deliver in the upcoming lecture that you have. Now I have a quick question for all of you. So I said that I will be using Perplexity. So can you all tell me, what is Perplexity? Is it a AI search engine or a large language model? So drop in the chat the responses. Yeah, so I've got few responses. Some are saying AI search engine, some LLM. So I see majority say AI search engine. Some feel it's LLM. So I'll take you through in the hands-on demo that what it is exactly. Is it a AI search engine or a large language model? So for the content design and delivery, what we will be following is a prompt based approach. So I hope all of you are familiar with prompt engineering. So this is how we give instruction to AI models to generate responses. Better the prompt, better the responses will be. Now for the first task, where I want to gather the sources for any specific topic, I have chosen Perplexity because Perplexity actually gives you citations of from where it has taken the information. And it is very important when you are working on creating educational content, because as someone pointed, like, what's the chances of hallucination? So when someone or some AI tool is giving you the citations, so you can go back and verify from where the content has come. So that makes sure that the content is not fabricated or created by AI model. It is coming from the right source from the internet. So Perplexity is, that's why we will be using for OER or source gathering. So this is what you see is actually the prompt I will be writing in these AI tools now. So first tool which I will be using is Perplexity. So let me first paste this and then I'll take you through what it says. So the prompt says find 8 to 10 authoritative recent sources on topic. Now the topic that you see is actually a placeholder where you can write any information. So if you see here, so let's say the topic that I'm teaching is data pre-processing in data analytics. So let's say I'm doing a course or giving a course on data analytics, and in next week I have to prepare for how to do data pre-processing. So let's say this is the topic I'm interested in and I want to find 8 to 10 recent sources. And there you see I've said that prefer NPTEL, scikit-learn document, university pages, textbooks, return a table in this particular format. And if you see, I have given this note. It is very important that exclude personal blogs, unverifiable sites. So I'm explicitly giving this instruction that only prefer sources like NPTEL, university pages, exclude these personal blogs because their authenticity is always questionable. Whatever content is there in personal blogs can be correct or maybe incorrect. So we have to be aware that what sort of instructions we can write in the prompt, which will give us the best possible and accurate response. So with this prompt that I have written, let me hit enter. And you see, it has given me some sources which I can refer. So it has given, as you can see, the links from the sources which I had mentioned in the prompt. These are scikit-learn. So you see, then there is online course here. And it has given the links also. So let's say I want to do a double check. Is this link correct or not? So I can always click on these links and see from where it is coming. So, and here you see at the end, it provides all the sources also. Now, I had asked a question that Perplexity is a AI search engine or a LLM. So actually, it's a AI search engine. It's not a large language model. You can think of it as a like a wrapper on top of your large language model. If you see here in Perplexity's chat box, where you write prompts, you get this option, choose a model. So if you click here, you can see these are all the Gen AI models or large language models. And these models come from different vendors. So Gemini is given by Google. You have GPT from OpenAI. You have Claude from Anthropic and Grok from X. So basically, it supports all like the leading Gen AI models or LLM models available out there. And it uses those models to synthesize the final response. But this is actually not your LLM itself. And if you see here, 3 steps completed. So you can actually see these steps, like what behind the scene Perplexity did. So basically what it did, it took your prompt and converted it into these search queries, like the way you do Google search. Similarly, it created these. It did the search over the World Wide Web to find out what all pages are there. It did the review, and then finally it created the response in the desired format. So this is what you can see here. So in a way, it's a competitor of Google search. So it's a tool built on top of your large language model or generative AI models. So this was the first step. First is to get the verified link. Once that is done, now we actually want to create some study material. So let's take help of the second prompt. And this is the prompt I have written. So from the source above, so these are the table that you see, which Perplexity provided us. From the source above, produce 1-page teacher brief. So you can make it 2, 3, 4. Let's say I make it 2-page a teacher brief on topic. Topic is again what we had written. So that was your data analysis, data pre-processing in data analysis. So you can paste the same topic here. And then you're saying that in the teacher brief, the 2-pager that we want, it should have these sections like key ideas, common pitfalls, do, don't, checklist, 3 short example. And you are also asking, very important, that every claim must have an inline citation, that from where that particular line has been taken for the verifiability. So let's hit enter here. So it has generated the material for us, which we can use for the session that you are planning to deliver. So it has key ideas, common pitfalls, do, don'ts, checklist related to data pre-processing, some short examples. Now, as a next step, what you can do, you can download it as a PDF, docx, markdown file. Let's say you want to do some edits. So you can download it as docx and make the edits. If you are fine, you can download it as PDF also. So both the options work. So this is how you can generate your material, study material. Once that is done, now we'll go to ChatGPT. And if you remember, the objective that we have is actually to accomplish all of this. So our work is still not done. So because we don't need links, verifiability, so we can take help of ChatGPT now. So let me open ChatGPT. And the next set of prompt I'll paste here. So are you all familiar with the concept of persona in prompt engineering? So yeah, drop yes, no. So basically whatever I'm writing here, you see, is an instruction which I'm giving to this AI model called ChatGPT. So if you provide it a role or a persona, it starts acting accordingly. So here I'm saying that, hey ChatGPT, act as a higher educational instructor designer for India, familiar with NACC privacy. These again are placeholders, you can change it. So when I give this role, the ChatGPT starts behaving like, okay, I'm a person who is specialized in this higher educational instruction designing. Then the audience that this AI model is going to work with is this. Again, these are all placeholders. You can keep only one to remove it or change it to something else. Then bandwidth means your students do they have internet access? What sort of internet access? What LMS you use? Any constraints you want? So you see, avoid hallucination, include accessibility and integrity notes. And in the output style, you want a tabular type of structure. So this is the kind of role you are giving to your AI model. And always do this in a new chat, always create a new chat and then write these prompts. So you see, it is saying that, okay, these are the helps it can give to us. So it is acknowledging that, okay, I have taken all your instructions and I'll work accordingly. Once this is done, now we'll actually start generating our template of the final delivery that we want. So we just have to write 2 more prompts. So let me zoom in a bit. Now we are writing this next prompt here, which says write 4 measurable learning outcome for topic again, which we have been working on Perplexity. So this is your data pre-processing and data analytics. So you can copy this. And actually you can paste or upload your PDF file also, so that it will have more context of the actual reading material that you will be providing and giving in the lecture. So better would be to actually, you can copy it from here, or you can, whatever you have downloaded, you can upload that in the chat. So I'll just quickly copy this. So this is my actual content I will be delivering. So I can say that write 4 measurable learning outcome for this particular topic, which will contain following material. So you are pasting the material, or you can do upload also here through this plus sign. And after that, you have the same instruction that use Bloom supply analyze, map each learning outcome to a course outcome and suggest the evidence to measure it, and then return a table in this particular format. So let me hit enter and let's see what sort of result we are getting. So you see, as we had given the instruction, we want 4 learning outcome. Tag it to Bloom's apply and analyze. This is exactly what we have done. And in the outcome, this is the measurable action we need. So it says apply appropriate data cleaning technique to handle missing values, and how to do the assessment can be done through a hands-on lab task. This is the second learning outcome. Then you have third and fourth. So this is how you can get the learning outcome, but our work is still not done. We will now write a final prompt, which is our session planning. So using these learning objective, so you can specify in the prompt using above learning objective and content provided. So we have provided the content, we have this learning objective. Now create our final 90-minute live session plan. Split it into 10 to 15 segment and use this activate, teach, practice, reflect principle with 2 asynchronous activity, and this is what should be the output table. So let's hit enter. So this is our final prompt. So you see it has started creating the plan for us. It has given segments, what you should teach in that segment and what it is. Is it activate, teach, practice, reflect? So you see, its first stage, activate, like why do you need pre-processing? And then here is what to show during this. What sort of tool you can use. Then you have teach, like what are the pre-processing stages, where you should explain stages like cleaning, integration, transformation. So in this way, it has created segments 10 to 15 minutes long. What is the purpose of that? What you should show in that particular segment and what tools you can use. So you see, sometimes it has said you can use a slide. For hands-on demo, you should use a Jupyter demo or a coding-based platforms. So here you see it has created the entire end-to-end plan for you, which you can copy. Here you see you can copy and you can paste in any Excel. So this is actually Excel copy paste ready. You can paste it on Google Sheet also. So this is how you can generate the entire session plan. So if we go back to our objective, so this was our objective, and with these set of prompts, we have been able to accomplish that. Why we used Perplexity in between? We wanted to make sure the content we are generating for teaching to students is coming from the right sources and there is as minimal chance of hallucination. We should be able to go to those sources and do the verification ourselves. So with this, we have completed the goal of creating the content. But now I'll show you how to, now you can use different slide generation tools. Let's say whatever PDF you had, you want to convert it into a slide or the content that you have, you want any AI tool to create slides or presentations for you. So these are the very popular tools. Quick question. Have any of you used Gamma, Canva? Yeah, so there's a question. Please show previous slide showing from. Yeah, these slides will be given to you, so you can actually refer these. Yeah. Yeah, so I see a lot of people have used Canva. Yeah. Yeah, so these are very popular tools these days. You don't have to actually manually create slides. You can just paste your content. For example, let's say whatever PDF content I had, I want to convert it into a slide. So I don't have to manually, paste these stuff in any PPT. I can take help of these AI tools. So one very popular is Gamma. So I'll quickly give you a demo of that. So Gamma.app is the app where you can go. And here you can actually create new AI. So select this option. Then here we have the text available with us. We don't want AI help in generating the text. Whatever PDF we got from Perplexity, we want to convert that into slides. So we can choose paste in text. And here you can see we can paste the entire content we had got. So whatever content in the Perplexity we got, you can put it here. And it will take that as an input and will start creating slides for you. I already have few slides already here with me. So yeah, so this is something I had created. And it is based on whatever content which was generated by Perplexity. So you can see it has created this slide. So it has generated images also. And whatever content you see here is actually editable. So it's not like that once it has created the slides, they are static. So let's say you want to make some edits to it, you can do that. You see why it starts with why pre-processing matters. If you think it's very verbose, you want to minimize the text. So you can select that and then use a edit with agent. You can say that make it more engaging, expand the text or condense the text. So all these features are available and you can take help of AI in doing that. So in this way, you can go through all the slides. Again, I'll say whenever you use these AI tools, always do a proofread of what it has created, generated. Make sure the content is correct and that actually is your responsibility to do the verification. So you can see it has condensed the text as we had asked. Similarly, you can edit the images also. You can delete the images also from here. And you get this link, share. You can export it as PDF, PowerPoint, Google Slide. Recently, I think few weeks back, ChatGPT has actually now integrated Canva in its UI. So you can actually now start creating presentations from ChatGPT itself. So you go to more and in the applications, if you click here, you can actually now integrate Canva and connect to Canva. So basically you can create Canva style presentations from inside ChatGPT now. So once you install the app, you will be able to actually see the Canva here, select that, and you will be able to generate slides based on whatever text you have. You see, I get this message now, Canva is now connected. So you can start chat And the way to do that is, so @Canva, so generate 3 to 4 slides on, let's say, AI in education. So you can write these sorts of prompts, or whatever content we just generated from Perplexity, you can paste the entire text here and ask it to convert it into presentation. So this is another way you can convert your text into PowerPoint presentations. So let's go back to the slides now. Yeah, so we have now completed our two main phases. First was your learning phase, and second was content design and delivery. So for content design, we took help of Perplexity and ChatGPT. After that, we can convert that into slides using other tools like Canva and ChatGPT, or using apps like Gamma. Now the third phase is assessment phase, and how we do assessment is usually through quizzes, grade-based exams. So now I'll take you through how you can use AI tools to generate that also. So tools that I'll primarily use will be ChatGPT. I'll take you through Quizzy also, which has been rebranded now as Wayground. So that is a specialized AI tool which you can use for quiz generation. First, I'll take you through ChatGPT, like with prompts, how you can generate quizzes. So let's take this prompt first. So let me paste this in the chat box and show you what it looks like. Let me zoom in a bit. Yeah, so here again, as you can see, the prompt says from this reading. You need to paste it, or you can say that from the reading provided above. So it should have the context that which reading you are referring to. So either upload your reading here or paste it, or say that from the reading provided above. You are asking it to create 5 items. So out of those 5, 2 should be MCQ type with misconceptions based distractor. 1 should be numeric, 1 should be scenario based answer, and 1 should be interpret the graph type. And you are also asking it to provide an answer key and a 4x4 rubric for short scenario type evaluation. So let's hit enter. So you can see it has started giving us the response. So if you see the prompt, we had asked it to create 5 items, 2 MCQs. So let's see what it has provided us. So the first item you can see is an MCQ type, and this is the question. What question says, which pre-processing practice most directly causes data leakage? And after that, it has provided 4 responses. It has done same for the second. Third question, if you see, is this one. And why it is like this? Because in the prompt, we have said you should provide 2 MCQs and then 1 numeric. So this is a numeric question, where what students will have to do, they will have to actually do the calculation and then come up with the response. So it's no longer like just pick a option and you will get the right or wrong as a response. They have to do some calculation on paper to arrive at the solution. So you see, this is a numeric type. And after that, there is some scenario based question, where again student will have to think through some like situation, like basis on the situation, what should be the right approach. So they need to come up with all those sorts of logical conclusion and provide that as a response. So here you see it is a scenario that you are giving and asking students. So if let me read this. So you receive a data set merged from two sources. One records are in temperature, other in Fahrenheit. Some categories have 500 plus unique values. Describe the two pre-processing steps you would apply and why. So you see, it's a sort of a scenario which they have to consider before coming up with the response. The final one is interpret the graph, where you are asking students to there's a box plot of feature showing some information. You need to look at that graph and then come up with the responses. So these three, as you can see, they are not like just select an option based. These are where student will have to provide calculation or their reasoning. And then it ends with providing the answer key. So this is the answer key, like what's the right answer for MCQ, how the numerical calculation should look like. And then at the end, it has short answers for scenario-based responses. It has also provided this 4x4 rubric also. This is needed because in MCQs, it is easy to do the scoring basis on which option was selected. But in scenario type responses, how will you give a student, let's say, score of 4 versus a score of 1? So there are different criteria that you need to go through. So first is problem identification, how good they are doing it. So did they correctly identified all the key issues? If yes, they will be given a score of 4. If they misidentified, couldn't find any issue, you will give it a score of 1. Somewhere in between, you will give a score of 2 to 3. So in these scenario types of responses, it is always important to have a rubric to assess students' performance. So this is how you can take help of ChatGPT in coming up with the graded responses. There is one specialized tool also, which is Quizzy. So let me take you through this. So let me, anyone used Quizzy? So it's very popular for creating AI-based presentations, quizzes. So here if you see, I'm here on Quizzy. This is actually now called Wayground. And here, if you click here on create a resource, you see it provides you these different responses. So we are right now interested only in assessment creation. So let's click on this. And here you see, it provides you options like how would you like to get started, upload lesson slides, worksheets, any document. So you can upload that, or you can even provide a link of YouTube video also, and it can refer to that and generate in responses for you. So you can select any of these. This is you select start from scratch also. You can select what kind of quizzes you want, fill in the blank, multiple choices. So it provides a lot of responses which you can use. So let's say I click on upload from device, and let me paste the text as I have that readily available. So whatever text we had pasted here, we can just reuse, or you can upload that from the download that we did from the Perplexity. So let me just copy this. So I can just paste the content. Let me remove the other part of the prompt. So this is what I'm interested in. I want to generate like quizzes for this particular content. So here you see number of questions which I want, 10, 15, I can select that. What's the grade level? It has automatically detected that's a university level concept I have written here. After that, you can click on create resource, and it will generate the list of quizzes for you. And it will be all editable. Once you edit that and fine with it, you can share those links with the students, share it on any LMS like Google Classroom or Moodle. So you see it has generated this quiz. It's I think around 15 quizzes. It has given the responses also. Let's say you don't like anyone, you can here delete, edit, and once you are done with that, you can do a preview or publish that also. So you get a link and you can share that with the students. So this is one AI-based tool which automatically from the content can create quizzes for you. So we have completed the first 3 phases. Now let's look at the final phase. This is analytics phase. So what's the importance of this? So whatever work you have done, your students have done, they have, let's say, taken the assessment. Now the next logical step is to think about the next steps, where students are struggling, how to create plans for them so that they can do better in next assessment. You can actually use this for yourself also. Let's say you generate an assessment for whatever you learned in the learning phase, and you see that in some 2 to 3 topics you are not able to perform well. So you can analyze your own responses also. So this is where we will now take help of AI to come up with discussion summaries and learning insights. So for that, I will use again a prompt in ChatGPT, and this we will use on a discussion summary. So if you have used Google Classroom or any other classroom, they actually provide you the conversation in which you can export. So for example, if let's say you have a Google Classroom, so this is how the discussions usually look like. So instead of manually copy pasting, manually reading and coming up with the insights or doing analysis, you can just export these chats and from your Google Classroom and then ask ChatGPT to do the analysis for you. So let's say this is the chat, students are talking about some topics. You want to understand what they're talking about without manually reading that. So let's see what prompt we can write. So first, either you can upload that file or just paste it and then use this particular prompt. So we will use this prompt now. And I'll take you through this, exactly what it is doing. So here you see it says summarize these posts into themes, misconceptions, and a 15-minute practice task, and end with a, let's say, 120-word supportive announcement. So let's say you have concluded the semester or 1 week of your course and you want to analyze what students are talking about. So you can use that prompt along with the discussion data. So let's hit enter. So you see it gives you a discussion summary. So what was the theme of discussion? Most important is this common misconception and confusion. So where students are very confused. So you see it says missing value should always be deleted or not. So they're not sure that, let's say some points are missing in the data, what to be done with those. So clarification to reinforce. And then what sort of 15-minute task you can give to these students, which they can use and apply to actually remove these misconceptions or confusions. So this is a kind of 15-minute task they can do, and then it ends with a instructor announcement. So this is how you can analyze discussion summaries. You can also analyze quiz results also. So for example, you get quiz results of your students. If you are using something like Quizzy, so let me show you the Excel. So this is how the responses usually look like. So let's say you have a question and you had multiple students. So what answer they provided, so all that information you get in form of Excel. You can actually upload these Excels to ChatGPT and ask that how many students were not able to answer a particular question, which categories belongs to, and how to create some reading material for them so that they can improve their understanding. So basically you can do this also here by uploading the quiz results or assessment results to tools like GPT and get the analysis done for you. So now with this, let's go back to the slides. So these were the 4 phases. We have covered all of them. Just before concluding the section, I want to just talk about how to use AI responsibly. Before that, I have this question for all of you to understand. Are you familiar with the concept of PII? So can you tell me which of these is PII? Person name or Aadhaar number? So I see Aadhaar as a response. So yeah, correct. So Aadhaar number is a PII. Person name is private information, still is a private information, but is not a PII. So PII is something which can uniquely identify someone. Person name, because a lot of people can be there with same name. So it's not a PII exactly, it's a private information. So why it is important to know what is PII private, what is public, because these days we are using AI a lot, but we have to use it responsibly. So these are some pointers I want to give you. So always prioritize accuracy. I mentioned that no AI is 100% accurate. So we should always verify AI generated content with tools like Perplexity, Google Scholar for source citations before publishing to students. That's why in the demos that I conducted, I showed you how to do the source citations, how to verify the links, because it is very important in educational sector, because you are reading something, learning something. So it has to come from the right sources. The second is privacy protection. So never include student or your personally identifiable information in AI prompts like Aadhaar number, WhatsApp screenshots. Try to redact the information, anonymize it. Always do proper attribution. What does that mean? Let's say you're picking something from internet, you are using some image. So always cite all the responses, add credits that you have taken this image from this XYZ resource. Always take care of accessibility standards, which means make content reachable. So whatever content you are creating, let's say you are creating slides, it should be in such a way that all students should be able to grasp it. Provide good color contrast, all text, provide captions so that every student can read that information. Then maintaining academic integrity. So AI is okay for ideas generation, outline, and practices. but should not be allowed for proctored tests. So always clearly disclose where someone can use AI versus where it is not allowed. So always make that clear to students. And final note on AI detector usage. So as I said that no AI is 100% correct. The AI detector tools that you are using, they're also using a sort of AI only behind the scenes. So even they are not always 100% correct. They can also be unreliable. So it asks actually students to maintain the version and history of the prompts that they created to arrive at the final solution. Conduct short vivas from that version, because AI is going to be there, people will be using it. So there's no point in saying you can, there should be zero AI usage. It is going to be there. So we need to come up with ways in which people can use these AI tools effectively with understanding, not just asking it to generate content, but also they are using it to understand a particular concept. So this is one of the way in which you can test that understanding. Yes, so yeah, this is it. So this is all I had to cover. So if anyone has any questions, let me know. This slide which I have shared, it will be shared with all of you. So all the content which you see, all the prompts, you will have access to that.
So, thank you, Shikha. Will you be sharing this presentation, or should I just use from last time?
Yeah,
Or
it's
is
the
there
same
any?
presentation. Yeah, it's the same. So you can share that.
Okay, I'll share that with everyone. So, thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. The platform is up now, so you can take the course and take the assessment also. The results will be publishing by 11th February for everyone. So, thank you, and see you all tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Thank
Yeah.
you, Shikha. Thank you.
Everyone.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Kamna. Bye.